But y'all gotta watch this shit on TV. When people cry and this is the first thing they do, they'll sit there for a second, but if the tears aren't falling and streaming, they're going to run. And he run to the back because the tears weren't falling. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, Being Simone Iman. I am Simone Iman, and we are going to do not the final, because I'm going to review the reunion, but we are going to do our decision day review on Mavs Married at First Sight season 12 in Atlanta. First, if you're new here, I am Simone. I am so vibey, and this is my personal diary. I talk about a little bit of everything on my channel, whether it be reviewing my favorite reality television shows at the time, or giving you product hauls or suggestions, fashion hauls, personal diary tease. Okay, so if you're into those kind of things, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and then also hit the notification bell so you know anytime I upload a new video. Let's get into it. Y'all, I'm gonna be mad as hell if I look ghostly on this damn review. I tried a new concealer and I don't know what she concealing. Anyway, so decision day. You guys, decision day did not disappoint. I know a lot of critics, because I follow a few Mavs blogs and like Instagram accounts, are saying that it seems like, you know, production put on all these things, production incited all of this to make it more interesting, and I was kind of with that until decision day. Like, it was genuine to me. But let's start off with the first couple, which was Clara and Ryan. So I need to go back and watch my first video, but I'm pretty sure that I said Clara and Ryan would stay together, and Clara looked absolutely amazing. Clara's hair has always confused me. Her hair on wedding day was like platinum blonde. It was beautiful. Then I thought it was a wig, but she looked great. I loved her dress with the cape, that peach pinky tone. Her shapewear was shape wearing. Okay, I loved what Ryan had on. I also loved Dr. Viviana's dress. Dr. Viviana is a reality television icon, okay, when it comes to fashion. When they're talking to them, you just kind of realize how much deeper Ryan is in thought and practice than Clara. Clara is really shallow. She says that she's okay with having to compromise not being physical, having to compromise not saying that I love you so soon, because she felt that they would be together for the next 50 years of their lives, and that she would get all the affection, all the I love yous, all the sex that she wasn't getting within the first 8 weeks. And I feel her on that. Like, it's worth it in the long run. If she had those gut feelings that they would stay married, it's like, I get it, and they've probably had this conversation off camera. I'm not gonna be sexing and talking about it on film with two pastor parents and being a good church boy. I really didn't see that for him. Of course, Clara went first and said that she was 100% positive about staying married, and then, you know, they got to get us with the dramatics. And Ryan with the Ryan has never said and so much this season. Like, he's not a and guy. Sure, but not and then when they come back from commercial break, he says that he wants to 150% stay married. And the whole time I'm just thinking, they better have sex tonight. She earned it. When they stand up for the champagne toast, which is a toast, people kill me. It is not called a cheers. Where do people get that from? A cheers? I don't like it. I actually hate it when people say, let's make a cheers, let's do a cheers. It's a toast, people. Shut. Anyway, Dr. Pepper is so little. Like, Dr. Viviana and Pastor Cal look like they 5'10", and Dr. Pepper look like she 4'10". And then they just show them together afterwards. And can I go on record as saying that I hate the relaxer? I think it's so weird that Ryan wears his hair like that. Best friend, Jake and Haley. My friend always looked like he just got off of work, but he don't want to give y'all too much, so he took his slacks off in the bathroom and put on his Levi's. He is business up top, cool casual party at the bottom. I love Haley's dress and how she looked. Haley absolutely has given Free People vibes all season. I love her style. I feel like when they were like coaching them up and talking about their experience, Haley was like putting on, like, obviously they were gonna say no, obviously. I had, after the Hilton Head thing and them sharing such positive letters about one another, I had held out hopes that they might pull a Beth and Jamie from season 10. Beth and Jamie literally fought every day and stayed together. And they're still together now. They do like couples cams and all the specials and stuff. They did the episode that I didn't cover last week because I was like, what the hell is this? Where three couples, Karen and Miles and Amani and Woody and Beth and, I just said his name, like gave their predictions on who would stay together, Beth and Jamie. But they're still together, and I was totally surprised by that. And I thought that's what we were going to get from Haley and Jacob, but Haley just seemed really excited to say no. Like, oh, yeah, I feel great. I feel great. It's like, girl, he don't want you either. Jake glasses was so scratched and scuffed up. When my friend gets paycheck, I want him to go to a optical place and get some new glasses. You could tell by the back and forth contention when they were talking about their experience in the relationship that they weren't going to stay together, and we were just gonna put it out there. And then I was kind of feeling away because Pastor Cal was like, well, what would you say right now if Haley said? I thought that was cheating. I was like, well, that's not giving them the opportunity to say, you know, give their spiel like every other couple does. You're using coercion to have them reveal what their choice is. But then I'm like, okay, so with them going back and forth, it was pretty obvious. So let's kind of remove the knife a little bit, make this a little easier for them. And Jacob was basically like, we had 8 weeks to get it right, and it didn't work. I think that Jacob was most turned off by the fact that, one, she was so nitpicky, and two, Haley lied a lot, you know, throughout the season about the smallest things. And she's one of those people who, you know, she's into lies of omission, and she tells little white lies not to hurt your feelings or to support her feelings in her case. Like, she's just not all out like this slanderous liar. But those little nuanced lies, that's weird when you're grown up and it's a camera following you, that can easily show that you lied. Like, I didn't get it. Although they wrote the nice letters together and they won the newlywed game in Hilton Head, they ultimately chose not to stay together, and I cannot say I'm surprised. I do want to share some with you guys. I'm probably gonna pop it up in the screen. Like I told you guys, I follow a lot of Instagram accounts for Married at First Sight, and so one of them that I follow, Married at First Sight POC, which is people of color, they, like, as soon as it broadcasts on whatever coast they're on, they posted all of their Instagram accounts. And so who you think I followed? My best friend Jake. Y'all, I had not sent Jake that, it was still, his page was still private. I hadn't sent him that friend request 2 minutes, and he accepted it. I was like, oh, he must have seen one of my videos. He knows he's my best friend. But yes, it's literally, I'm taking notes on the show and I get the notification that he accepted my friend request. So yes, thanks best friend for following me, for allowing me to follow you. You better follow me back. Anyway, next couple. Yeah, this is why we was glad Chris and Paige was gone for 3 episodes. The drama. Notes. Follow me. So my first thing was, if they've already decided to get a divorce and it's been verbalized, you know, there was no cliffhanger, there was no we don't know what we want, they both agreed to the divorce, then what are we discussing? But I let them humor me. When each couple did the voiceovers, right, as they're showing the B-roll footage of the relationship and things they've experienced, who wrote Chris's script? Because it was a lie. Chris' script made it seem like he had respected and cherished Paige the entire process. No mention of him having sex with her under false pretense. No mention of him being unattractive, saying she's unattractive and not his type. No mention of baby mama gate and baby gate. Like, it was the BS for me, okay? When they walk in, they file in. Chris comes first, and then here comes Paige, and Paige acknowledges all the experts, well, Pastor Cal, Viviana, and Dr. Pepper. And then she comes to walk past Chris to sit down, and she's just like, hey, how you doing? So cold, so nasty, so rude. I loved it. As soon as they start talking, Pastor Cal just has that this boy is literally full of shit look on his face. And he is. Dr. Pepper asked what his biggest regret was of the season, and he said not moving into the apartment. And honestly, that was always it for me. Like, I never understood, even if he slept in a separate bedroom, why he didn't allow her to still have the experience that all the other brides were experiencing, especially because he always professed to care about her so much. It didn't make much sense. Dum dum dum. You know, he is good for self-induced drama. Like, he blows up the spot and then he runs to the back like Maury. Cameras are following him. He breaks the news to them that Mercedes had a miscarriage. And they're all like, oh, and he starts to cry. But y'all gotta watch this shit on TV. When people cry and this is the first thing they do, they'll sit there for a second, but if the tears aren't falling and streaming, they're going to run. And he ain't run to the back because the tears weren't falling. He ain't run to the bathroom because the tears weren't there. He ran to his car. And even when he ran to his car, he still had his hand in his face. Tears were very minimal, if any. I don't care what nobody say. I'm sure he was upset about losing the baby. He wasn't crying. And that's just that on that. He wasn't crying. He gets in the car and, you know, he's sitting behind tent, still no tears. And once he runs off, you know, there goes Paige running behind him. Immediately running behind him. Where did he go? He left. All that drama, the commercial break, they come back. She gets in the car with him. And she says, you know, she feels bad that they lost their baby because she knew how much he wanted it. And he says, oh, it's not that. He said it's not that. It's not the fact that he lost the baby. He said after Las Vegas, he felt so alone. And, you know, he basically is regretting making the decisions based off of their relationship and what he had with Mercedes, even in having the baby, and leaving Paige high and dry. So this is his sorry for 2004. Gotcha, Rude. Now, of course, she's second guessing divorce. And I'm just like, They're walking back to the church. He's like, are you cold? Are you cold? They get inside the church and he gives her his jacket so that when they present in front of the experts, y'all, this is master manipulation, okay? So that when they get in front of the experts, it can look as though they're a united front. This is my perception of it. You know, maybe the girl was cold and he was just being a gentleman. But to me, it screams manipulation. They sit down. Immediately, Chris grabs his phone to text his homeboy, bro, I think it worked. And I'm wondering if this is, you know, if she's feeling like this is the main reason that their relationship didn't work. And I want to say Pastor Cal or one of the experts asked them, you know, was it just the baby that, you know, set y'all apart or didn't allow the relationship to flourish? Not him disrespecting you, not him saying he's not being attracted to you. Was it just the baby? Because I can't get over that. And Pastor Cal never misses when he presents those questions. It's like, girl, it wasn't just the baby. Never mind, before you even knew about a baby, he ghosted you after the first night because he said he wasn't attracted to you after sleeping with you twice. Like, it's not the baby, boo. She says that decision day, Paige says decision day is just like a dark cloud, and she doesn't want to act on emotions. And when they ask about their decision, Chris takes it upon himself to speak for both of them and say they're undecided. And Dr. Viviana is just like giving pushback. I cannot accept that. I'm not okay with that, because you're doing this to play with her and you're doing this to play with us at this point. And she was on the money. Look, these people got degrees in sociology and psychology and the performance of the human mind, brain, and actions. They can see through this bullshit. I can see through it, baby, and I got my degree in communications. Well, and I can see through the bullshit communication too. Okay? It just didn't make much sense, and I didn't like the way he talked to Dr. Viviana. I don't give a flying what you... Paige should have said divorce right then. Don't disrespect this woman in front of me. I'm your wife. My significant other. You ain't disrespecting no women in front of me unless she done disrespected us. And even still, like, let me handle it. Pastor Cal is like, you know, well, can I present this to you guys? If Mercedes was still pregnant, would this even be an issue? And that's ding, ding, ding. That's the thing. If the baby was still here, it would be a no on both of y'all, and y'all would be moving on. And here go Paige again, breaking down, crying, hurt, embarrassed behind Chris and his BS. Chris starts telling people to take off mics. Paige ain't never asked nobody to take her mic off. You want to leave? You want to leave? He's immature. Can y'all take my mic off? Can y'all take the performance of it all? He's so performative. She goes and she talks to the producer, and I like top notch producer. She always got that top notch at the top. The producer, she talks to her, and the producer basically tells her, you know, what she told her? You came here with your mind made up, right? And Paige is like, yeah. Why would you question yourself? What changed that made you question yourself? And so they go sit back down. And the voiceover of Pastor Cal is like, you know, we're not allowing them to leave here in limbo. They have to make a decision. And Paige finally got some sense. She chose Paige. She chose violence. Okay, because this boy done played me on television for 8 long weeks. Girl, you better walk away. Was there any other option? Is what I'm saying. Paige wins. Paige basically says, you know, it's not just about the baby. It's all the disrespect and everything else that came with this. Not respecting the marriage. Not honoring me. And I know this is not what God has for me, God. No. This is not what God has for me. And Chris says he thought he was going to ride off into the sunset. So he came there under the premise of, I'm going to get her. She going to come with me. And he thought that crying, that episode, that running backstage on Maury was going to do something. And I'm so glad. I'm so glad Paige didn't fall for the BS. For the boo-boo. In her closing monologue interview, she hit her best Maya Angelou. And walked off like a model. She literally walked off like a model too. That girl got some hands. Alright. These next two gonna be quick. Eric and Virginia. So didn't like it. Don't support it. I think that he's desperate. I think that more than anything, besides him really liking or loving Virginia, he just didn't want to be a 2-time divorced man. And when he showed up, he knew he wanted to stay married. They talk about the fact that he wants her to need him, and that's really hard for her. And it's going to be an adjustment for her after being independent and on her own for so long, especially with the way her parents split and kind of just like left her in high school. She's had to learn how to be an independent person, and depending on somebody is not her strong suit. He wants to be her number one, and he's like, I think her friend group is her number one. So make yourself a part of her friend group. Cook for them. Host. So that you don't have to get left behind. It's time to decide, and he gets on his knees with this Cracker Jack box rubber pink ring. And it's like, will you marry me? It was just so lackluster. It ain't even nothing to say. Virginia said yes. I hate that for her. because that man is so controlling. And it just, I ain't like it. The end. What was my prediction? Did I think they would stay together? I think I predicted that they wouldn't stay together. I knew, I was on the fence about Chris and Paige, but I knew they wouldn't stay together. And I just knew Virginia was gonna chunk dudes. I actually thought Virginia was gonna leave the marriage early, but I've been wrong before. And I think season faves, Brianna and Vincent. I loved Brianna's voiceover when they played the montage of the relationship with her and Vincent. My favorite part when she was talking about his laugh and how he just laughs his cheeks red, and I bet Vincent was the cutest little boy. Y'all know I have a soft spot for little boys because I have 2 of my own, and I just loved it. I loved everything about that montage. They make a beautiful couple, and although they've had some conflicts, I think that overall they had a pretty seamless union. They talk about Brianna being so direct, and I said this in one of my reviews. Brianna just don't love him enough yet to want to change herself. The right love, you'll bend for. You'll do things you never thought you would be able to do, or you never saw yourself doing, with the right person loving you. And when she talked about her personality and being so direct and him making her want to change and be a better person, I was like, you love this man. She said she finds herself needing him. Y'all, I could cry right now. That was beautiful. Okay? She's grown to need him. And then when he looked like he was about to cry too. And then he got on his knees and he got the cheesecake and she was just crying. And I just love it for them. I think they're one of the better couples on Married at First Sight. They're so strong. They have so much potential to go so far. I just love them together. I think they're perfect for one another. And I loved when Vincent said he can't wait to tell his children about them getting married on their first date. I get all the feels. I literally have goosebumps right now thinking about Vincent. That's a cute couple name. Brianna and Vincent. They are just chef's kiss, Mavs goals. Mavs gold. They're gonna be on all the couple cams, spin-offs, little situations. They're gonna do all of that. Yeah, congratulations. We all knew they would stay together. And then the end scene is the couples meeting up, which I really loved. You could tell it was just good. It was charcuterie boards and fall vibes and cool weather. I loved the little setup. Everyone was there in the beginning but Chris. And my thing was, I hope they started a different group text. You're like, they had one group text with everybody at the beginning of the season and filming. They had to start a new group text without him. And don't invite his ass with them bad vibes. Eric felt like something because he asked Virginia's dad for her hand in marriage. They both creeps. And then poor Paige just kept telling everybody congratulations and yay. I feel so bad for Paige. I can most identify with Paige because Paige is most like me. I mean, Brianna too. Dark-skinned, beautiful women who want love. Like, I'm so grateful that it worked out for Brianna. But just seeing Paige endure what she did, like, she didn't deserve that. When they go around the crew and they start asking what everybody's learning, Jake basically says he ain't learned nothing. And I don't blame him, be honest. He didn't get an opportunity to learn anything. He always fussing with this girl. This girl is full of conflict, and she's like, she finds that hard to believe, or she made the right decision because, you know, it's impossible for him to not have learned anything. Did you allow him the opportunity to learn anything? Oh, no. You was always fussing. Always full of conflict. She wasn't, like, antagonizing, don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, I just didn't ever find that Haley was open to doing anything different from what she's already been doing in all her other failed relationships. So kudos to BFF Jake. Paige tells everybody that she was 60% sure about staying married, and everybody's like, how in the hell? And I like what Clara said after she said that you don't want to be 60% sure about anything, and you don't want anybody to be 60% sure about anything with you. Like, nah, it's not worth it if it's just 60%. Paige told them that their decision day filming took 6 hours. All of that, and they cut that down into like 6 good minutes. That's crazy. And then Chris shows up late. First, I want to know what was it with the box. What was in the box? Because when he came in, it was something in the box. When he left, the box was empty. What was in the box, y'all? And then it gets super awkward and no one knows what to say. And he has on all black like a villain. And he's 6 hours late. And I'm just like, why is he here? Somebody must have texted the wrong group chat. Not the first one, y'all. The second one without Chris. They should have named it group chat. Mav's group chat without Chris. But I was surprised to see how humble he was. His apology was substantial. It didn't feel like BS. He realized, you know, I like the fact that he said, you know, you can be so successful and have all this going for you, but who are you as a man? That's what we've been saying all season, Chris. I was proud of him. I was in that moment. And when Claire asked what he learned, it was award-winning. What was this person all process though? And then Paige panties got wet again and she wanted him back. Anyway, you guys, I love this season of Married at First Sight. To say any reality show that they're shooting right now during COVID is going to have a lot of challenges. And I think the Married at First Sight producers did a really good job at, you know, producing something that was entertaining, that was eventful, and to me it wasn't too forced. That situation with Chris and Paige, I don't feel like production produced that. I feel like that's what was really going on. If anybody produced it, it was Chris. Okay, he was the EP of his own story. He was the PA, production assistant, the EP, the producer. He contrived all of that, and he was still trying to control all of that even on decision day, which is why their filming took 6 hours. But overall, it was a good season and I loved it. The only people I'm surprised that didn't stay together is I'm not surprised. I knew Haley and Jacob wasn't gonna make it. I was iffy about Clara and Ryan, but I can't say that I'm surprised that they stayed together. I'm heartbroken at Eric and Virginia staying together because I just feel like he's so controlling and I don't know how that's gonna work for her. And who else? Chris and Paige are done. That's it. Brown and Vincent. Married at First Sight goals. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching these videos. I really appreciate it, you guys. I'm going to review the reunion because it's giving drama and tea and Chris running off backstage like it's Maury again. I had to tell you guys, I stole that from my best friend Jake. I watched, he had put up a story on his Instagram and was talking about Chris running backstage like he was on Maury. My friend is so funny. Do y'all watch Married at First Sight Unmatchables? What y'all think about that? Drop down in the comments and let me know. Anyway, I will see you guys next week for our last Married at First Sight episode review for the reunion. Until then, if you want to see my other videos, they'll be linked here somewhere. And I will see you guys next week. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.